All right, what's up, y'all? We about to get it started. We're gonna go ahead with some vibes. I'm gonna set a little tone. We don't have to worry about copyright because I found some copyright-free music.
Okay, copyright.
We're going to get it started into my segment of crew conversations. It's gonna be a ball today. I got two of the amazing people that y'all enjoyed the last time I did my podcast.
We're back.
Hey y'all, what's up?
What's up?
Thank y'all for coming back to help me out once again on my podcast and to just be amazing guests. So I want to just say to everybody who's listening or watching, thank you so much for tuning in again to the Bliss on Repeat podcast. I am your host. You already know my name. Some people call me Smooth. Some people call me Shayna. You can call me whatever you want to call me, just as long as you don't disrespect me, okay?
Ooh.
And I have my two lovely guests, so y'all go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Boncha. Back again.
I'm Quisha, to the quick Q, whatever you want to call me.
Okay, so they're coming back. This is the second time they're on the podcast, but this is the first time that they're doing the video podcast because the last time we only did the audio, and what were we talking about, y'all?
Red flag.
Red flags.
Yeah.
And when I look at my numbers, I'm like, everybody enjoyed it. Everybody laughed. Everybody had a kiki. And a lot of people agreed with a lot of the stuff that y'all were saying. So I just had to bring it back once again so that we can have another conversation. Because this segment, I'm titling this segment Crew Conversations because although my podcast is about self-love, understanding yourself, manifesting, and making sure you stand on a positive track, I also feel like it's important to have those conversations with the very people that you talk to on a regular basis, that you love, and just have conversations just like friends. Because all friends need to talk about it because we all be struggling in some areas.
Correct.
So today we're going to be talking about navigating through self-discovery. And I want to start off all of my podcasts by giving y'all an affirmation to live by. So the affirmation that I have today is created by me. It's just a little bit from one affirmation to another, but I put it together to fit what I like. So the affirmation is, I am open to receiving the life I desire. I welcome it, I claim it, and I blissfully decree that it is mine today. And so it is.
Okay.
That it is.
So it is.
Okay, y'all like that? Okay, okay. So I want to start off by just asking y'all, what has been your bliss lately? And yes, I did spring this question on y'all because I want y'all to think and really give me an honest answer. And when I say what's your bliss lately, like what is something lately that is just making you like undeniably happy? Y'all want me to go first?
I mean, I can kind of go.
Okay.
Mine is kind of simple though, like, cause even like when I work from home, so like being home all day, every day, it's like a little like can be on your mind, like okay, what thinking all day. But like I think when I listen to music, like I don't listen to music often, but sometimes people like I like to play such and such and such. And baby, when she play that old school, that clean up music, baby,
Right.
I just be feeling so good. I be like, okay,
Okay.
talk my little life away. But I think that's what brings me happiness right now. And just being around my friends and stuff like that, of course. But like when I'm by myself, like music really like bring me a little solitude, give me in a better headspace.
Yeah.
It did the
It's
job.
that peace. It's good. Okay, that was a good one. Okay, Quisha, what is making you like undeniably
I
happy?
enjoy, like when I enjoy being by myself. You know, when you're young, you always want people around. You always want to be out. I just enjoy solitude, being like by myself, just chilling, zenning out. My dog brings me a lot of happiness. So just be me and my dog, and just be chilling for real. I don't need much. Very simple. Very simple.
No, we're very simple people.
Until we're not.
Until
we're not.
Most of the time, very simple.
Correct.
What is the thing that's bringing me joy lately, like undeniably, is it's a couple of things, but I think it's just overall just being able to be honest and be vulnerable with the people that I care about. Like I have this thing right now, well, it's been like for a couple of years now, where I just enjoy saying no or just speaking my mind about something that I may have in the past. Just, I'm gonna let you have it. I'm not gonna say anything about it, or I don't want to ruffle any feathers, or I want to appear this way, so I'm not gonna speak on it. I just enjoy people really receiving that well. Like me speaking up for myself, me saying how I feel about things, and people just being like, okay, I respectfully disagree, or I like that point of view.
Right.
So
And
that's what I've been enjoying.
I'm glad that you brought that up because I said no one time for the first time recently, and I felt so bad afterwards. Like they didn't feel no type of way. They just like okay, but I really felt bad because I'm just always, yeah, I got you. I send it, whatever. I might get a backlash or whatever. But if you ask me for some money, like $20 or something, like I ain't giving you nothing. Then just see the cash app. I just want to talk junk. But this time I really said no about something, and I was like, they was like okay, and I said, dang, I really feel bad that I told them no. Like, because I actually had it, but I just was like, it's time for me to stop enabling them all the time. So it was a really hard one for me. Like, like I know they was probably like chilling, but I'm over here like, wait, I really just told them no. It's so sad.
It's so crazy, but why? Like, I know why you think why you started to feel bad, but how long did it last? Let me ask you that first.
It didn't last.
Like, was you in your head about it?
That day, maybe like the rest of the day, I probably was like,
dang, that's a long time.
Yeah, it's a long time. I mean, because I don't know. Like, I just be feeling like it's different when, just say for instance, this is what they actually feel like $20 or something. And I had it, but it was just one of those things where it's like, you asked me to have this to tomorrow. Like, go to sleep.
Just wait till tomorrow.
Wait till tomorrow. If you really need it today, you're gonna find it. Like,
right.
But it's hard when I do that.
So you done discovered about yourself that you have a hard time saying no. So that is a part of your self-discovery already. We've already touched on one point. So you have a hard time saying no. Now, when you said no, did you say no and then give your explanation why, or did you just say no?
I just said no.
Good job. I'm proud of you.
Right.
I just said no. Wow. Steps. Baby steps.
Baby steps. Step one.
Maybe like next time I won't feel.
Step one. Okay. Say
maybe next time I won't feel as bad.
Period.
Right.
Quisha, do you have a hard, have you figured out, maybe if it's for me, I can say no. Well, when I first started to say no, I started with people who I wasn't as close with, like saying no to them, and it was easier. And so here I am walking and bopping, like, yeah, I got this. Like, I got this. But when it came to somebody who I'm like, okay, I really, really do care about you, but I know that I don't want to do this thing that you're asking me to do, it still was hard for me to say no. After I'm thinking I'm healed, I'm like, okay, God touched me. I can finally say no. Not with everybody. So, Quisha, have you figured out how to say no yet?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
You got to work on that.
Yeah. I got to work on that. Like, Mom, I feel bad if I say no. So it's always, I'll figure it out. Right. Yeah. Even if I got to figure it out, I'm still going to tell you and then figure it out on my end.
Correct.
and I think that comes from growing up, and that's another point that I wanted to touch on, like why we feel the need to have to make a way and be there for people, even if it's completely putting ourselves at a disadvantage.
Right.
Like, where do we learn that from?
Ooh. Where do we learn that from?
And maybe because I don't like to be told no, so I don't like to make other people feel that way. I don't like to hear the word no. I don't like for somebody to tell me no.
But see, I'm the type of person where I'm gonna make it happen on my own because I don't want to ask somebody and they tell me no. So
I want to hear the no. Right.
I think that because I'm that type of person where I don't want to hear a no, like if somebody do have the courage to ask me for something, I want to tell them. Like,
gotcha.
I don't know, but then I really feel like growing up, I felt like somebody like your grandma or your mother that's always there for somebody, like they literally make a way out of everything. You know what I'm saying? Everything. Like they make sure I'm good. I'm a grandchild. They making sure my mom and them good. You know what I'm saying? Like grandparents always kind of like have done that, even if our parents didn't do it, you know, the grandparent or somebody in our family was able to like give and make sure everybody else got, you know, to make sure
Right.
they was nurtured or cared for in some kind of way. So I think
Yeah.
that also like is the thing that I picked up from my grandma. Unfortunately, but fortunately, like, because people loved it about me, but
Hmm.
woo, girl, I be like, y'all don't be understanding how stressed I be sometimes.
Yeah. So like when you were younger and when y'all were younger, like how did you feel that people reacted when you maybe didn't want to do something they asked you to do? Like, we all had stuff at our houses, or we were in things and other organizations or church or whatever. Have you ever like kind of showed out as a kid, like, oh, you know how kids be doing, stumping your feet, like I really don't want to do that? Have you ever tested the waters and then see their reaction afterward?
As a kid, no. But
No.
kind of
Okay.
when I started smelling myself as I got a teenager, I might have tried my hand once or twice. You know, I mean, it wasn't one of those things where it was like kind of embarrassing to them. Like
Uh-huh.
it wasn't like my mom didn't have a really close relationship growing up, so I
Gotcha.
kind of felt like, girl, you ain't. Like
I
you ain't my grandma now. My grandma ain't gonna disrespect, but you be trying this. So I did try her one time. We got into an altercation, and we was talking within like the next week or so. But we won't talk to each other for like a week. Like it just
Wow.
since you tried to show off on me, and I just had to tell you, like, girl, like, calm down. Like I know we your kids, but sometimes they just OD. Like, and it's like.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You can leave me right now, and my grandma will come pick me up, and I know
Hello.
I'll be good. So,
I got options. I
I
got
got
options.
options. Sis. I don't know what you think is going on here, but and I had to try her. I tried her today. I really feel bad. As I get older, saying like, okay, you really have to like, at the end of the day, you're supposed to respect your elders and respect your parents, of course. So
Right.
I felt bad afterwards, but girl, I'm stubborn. When I got when I started, understanding life a little more and like how
Mm-hmm.
it's like not saying that she wasn't taking care of me, but I stayed with my grandma, so it was like since you can't come in here disrespecting me and talking to me any kind of way, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
disrespect you and talk to you
So
any
your
kind of way.
grandma was the
So,
top tier.
you
Your grandma
know,
is like the say all be all.
correct. Now,
Done
grandma
deal.
come over here and say, shh, and I'm just gonna be like, okay, girl, let me go in my room.
I do have one story where I tried to say no. We were on a cruise ship
Mm-hmm.
and we was at the buffet or whatever, and I had been getting up and down, and my mom asked me to get her a brownie, and I'm like, no. Like I've been getting up and down. You got 2 legs. You can go get this brownie.
Right.
So I was just like, no. And she was like, okay, either you go get it or you go stay in a room the rest of the cruise. So me being stubborn.
Wow.
Okay.
Not the rest of the room.
I'm going to stay in a room the rest of the cruise because I got to stand my ground. So I feel like for her at that point, it's like, okay, I paid for you to go on this cruise. The least you can do is get up and give me a brownie.
Mm-hmm.
My point of view was, you got the same 2 legs that I got, and we've been getting up, and you can go get your brownie. So I didn't go get it. So when we went to the room, she made me apologize because we were with another mom and her daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So of
Oh,
course I
you
took about
tried it.
2 hours not saying nothing mad. Then she made me
Uh-huh.
apologize so I can enjoy the rest of the cruise, but. That
Yeah.
didn't go so well when I told her no.
Yeah.
Brownie.
It's given that the punishment did not match the offense.
Correct.
That was like really extreme.
It
Like
was
they be trying to
like
hit
he
you
gave
with
me
the
a sentence in jail because I didn't want to get up. Like
yes.
it's not that bad. It's not like I hurt somebody or something. I
Right.
literally just told you no.
Yes.
I guess that hurt your feelings.
Right. Like, but I think it's just, and that's a part of what I discovered about myself too. I can honestly say, I posted a video, and I think one of y'all commented on. I posted a video on Facebook the other week of a little girl, and she was telling her mom like, "You always asking for favors, favors. Every you all. It's like you just running kids." And I think we all had that, like parents who saying, "Go get this, go get that. Come here, turn off the light," and they laying right in the bed. It just seemed like you don't respect me at all. You think I'm just
Right.
a little slave toy.
It's giving slave. Kids are slaves. Like what?
It's giving we oppressed in our own house. And this supposed to be a cruise. But I don't think I can't ever remember like standing up for myself and being like no, or I'm tired, or I don't feel like doing this, because I felt indebted to a lot of people growing up. And I don't think that was taught to me. I think it was just, like when you're intuitive and when you're empathic and you start doing stuff like that, people really start to depend on you. So they don't expect you to speak up for yourself or to say no or to ruffle feathers a little bit. But I can remember something happened one day and I was really upset and I was crying because I've always been an emotional person. But I'm crying in my room by myself. I know what the situation is, but I ain't gonna tell y'all all my business. But I was distraught, honey. I was distraught. So I'm in my room crying. And I remember she came in and she's like, "What you crying for?" But it was just so harsh. It wasn't like, "I'm here to try to see what you crying for." She was going hard. I'm already emotional. I'm clearly distraught. I'm in disarray right now. So I didn't want to talk. So I took my little flip cell phone. I walked right on past her, walk out the house, and I just went walking because I knew I was like, okay, I'm at this point that I'm gonna say something that I'm not gonna be able to take back. And maybe I wouldn't have been disrespectful. Maybe I would have just said, I don't want to talk right now. But I didn't even know how to say it respectfully because I just wasn't used
In
to.
that place,
I wasn't used to like just speaking up for myself. And I think it's important that that kids are taught to speak up respectfully because when they can't do that or when they're shied away from doing that, when we get older, our mouth be reckless. It be reckless. It cut like a knife. Just like with the brownie situation, like she just won't even used to hear you say no. And it was nothing disrespectful that you did. It was just she was embarrassed.
Right.
That's really what it was.
Exactly what it
So
was.
but that is a part that I've learned, like through my self discovery journey. I've learned, okay, Shayna, you have to speak up for yourself more, like because when you don't, and then you finally do, people act like you're the
Okay.
worst person in the world, like you have just killed them twice.
Listen, they feel like you just did the worst thing in the world, and it's like,
Yes,
I mean, I didn't disrespectfully tell you. Like, I just said how I felt. Like,
that's all.
you can take it or not, but I'm just
Yeah,
letting you know how I feel. So
yeah.
you can go about it. Proceed with caution, sweetie. I told you what I feel, and
I
you
proceed with
figure out
caution.
how you gonna go about it. So
Yeah, that's honestly how I feel. So I feel like everybody should have a chance to at least speak up for themselves because and it's even in dating. Like I see men now, and I'm like, yeah, you was probably one of those ones who was suppressed as a child. You couldn't speak up for yourself because now anytime you get fed up, it's just like an
lash
overload.
out.
Yeah, you just lash out. It's overload of emotions, and it's just an aggression because that's the quickest thing that you can reach to. So now you really going off.
Yeah.
So I have definitely learned that about myself. And the next question I want to ask y'all is like, do you feel okay? I'm gonna try to phrase this as best as I can. I feel like at a certain point of my life, I questioned everything. Like my values just changed. My needs and my values changed, and then I was at a point where I really don't know if this is what I think, or have I just been thinking what everybody else wants me to think, or do what everybody else wants me to do. Did y'all come to that point like maybe after high school or during college when you like, you know what? It doesn't, for example, it doesn't feel good to always give and put out and put out and put out. And then when you need someone, it's never reciprocated. And then I've had situations where the same person that I asked, they asked me for something and I still was there for them. So have y'all had a situation or at a certain point in your life where you like, yeah, everything that I was taught to do, I think I'm going to challenge that.
Honestly, this is a good question, but I don't think I've gotten there yet. Like,
Okay.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I feel like a lot of things that I learned growing up, I had a good balance. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had my
Yeah.
grandma who was one of those people that's like, of course, making sure everybody's good over, basically over giving and over, making people feel okay. Like doing stuff for
Right.
people, always there for people, and then also
Hmm.
like people like, well, I'm a homo child. Let me tell you something. It is her and her only. She's a Capricorn baby, and it's about them. Let me tell you something. Her and my sister,
Uh-huh.
them two, they really have to care for you for them to like go extra for you. If not, it's
Okay.
your birthday. Oh, okay, happy birthday. happy birthday. Like, me, I'm one of those people where it's like, I know little stuff that you like, and it's your birthday. Even if, like my ex, like, I don't really have to buy them nothing for their birthday, but I know it's her birthday, and I know she likes to drink beer or something. I'm going to buy her a
Right.
box of beer. I mean, it's just something that I like to do just because I know I have it. And it's like a good gesture for people. So,
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I don't think I've ever really challenged how I, like, grew up
Mm-hmm.
because I mean, like I said, I had a good balance. So like I do try to lean towards most of my grandma, like making sure
Mm-hmm.
people are good, because in the time that I need something, people are gonna know like Vaughn is a good person. He's always been there for me. Like I'll be able to.
Right.
Not saying they always do it, but like if they try to think about and figure out why they should do it for why they should do it for
Mm-hmm.
me. I already know like Vaughn has come through this many times, this many times. So therefore, if I have to like figure it out, I'll make sure I get what this $5 he needs towards a donation or something. Like I'm gonna make sure he get it. Like,
Right.
and I feel like just putting out that good, energy,
You
it'll
get it
come
back.
back eventually. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Whether it's in the form of them giving me something or the Lord blessing me with, 6-figure job,
Hello.
a man that loves me and
I
cares
welcome
for me
it.
unconditionally, hun. I mean, it is what it is. He just gonna. I know, and one day it's gonna come back full
Yeah.
circle, and So I not me. I don't think I really challenged. How about you?
Okay.
I know you have, because baby, you.
Right.
Let me tell you
What
something.
about you, Quisha?
Because
We
you're
ain't gonna, we
doing a
ain't gonna
lot of
get to me.
like you said, soul searching and stuff. Like
Yeah.
I haven't really gotten there. Like I feel like I think
Mm-hmm.
about like life and how I want to be long term, but I've never really like soul searched. Like you be doing the deep, like okay, I think about this. That's not how I supposed to be thinking. Like I'm gonna change, challenge how I think. Okay.
Okay, shadow work. Got to.
Me, I don't think I really challenge it. I really don't think it's gonna change until I get my own
Mhm.
family, probably. So right
Mm-hmm.
now, I really don't have to necessarily care about other people, or to a certain extent. I don't think it's gonna change until I have my own family, where I have to say, okay, I want to do things differently than what it was done to me as a child. So I think that's when it's gonna change. When I'm really gonna make that change.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Because I feel like sometimes when like just like because my sister has kids, so just
Mhm.
be seeing how she like raises them, and it's similar to how we were raised, but she try to like bend a little bit in some areas. But sometimes when kids just nag you and you're not in a good day, it's like girl, I'm about to pop your butt. Like, but she tries to refrain from that, and I think that me not being a parent, but I'm the uncle. I always be like, girl, don't whoop him. But then if I'm around him and I'm not around him for a long time, I be like, ooh, girl, I see why you be tearing his butt up, child. But
Hello.
it don't always, do what we wanted to do. We wanted to like tell them like they did something bad or they need to stop, but most times they make them cry and they just want to cry harder, and it's just like even more noise. So it's like more annoying that they're over there sitting there crying for the next
Mhm.
5-10 minutes when they probably would have stopped doing that annoying thing that they just did. So I think that in the ways that I was raised, like I never got a whooping because I wasn't a bad child, but
Right.
just the have letting my child have a voice part.
Mhm.
I think that I will definitely try to, make sure that I'm doing that. Like like letting them talk to their feelings, stuff like that.
Mhm.
Like you said, like I feel like those are valuable things that when they grow up, they'll know how to talk to their significant other, or whether it be somebody that their friend that make them feel away. Like it'll
Mhm.
be easier for them to speak up for themselves and tell them like, hey, this is what I'm feeling. Like
Right.
I don't know, I feel like it starts there. And we wasn't one of those, it was like when you're told to go shut up and sit down.
You go shut
That's
up
what
and sit down.
go shut up and sit down. Like
Yeah.
there's no coming back and telling me what you said what like you even mumbled, girl, and it's giving. I mean,
Did you
what's that
did
nigga
you
with
did you jump at me? Did you jump at me? I know you ain't jumping at me.
I know you did. So
Like, no, I'm just actually scared right
right.
now. I ain't jumping. But yes, I have, but I had to, because this is a thing. And I'm trying to frame this as best as I can, but I looked at it like this. I came upon a situation where I really had to look at myself and say, if I left this world today, I don't want to leave this world with people thinking that I'm this particular person, and they really don't know who I am. They really don't, they really didn't get a chance to love me for me. So I have to be brave enough to say, this is what I feel, this is how I feel things should go, and this is what I needed, and this is who I am. And I want people to be able to say, I accept you for that. I want to be comfortable enough to come into any space and be myself. And especially like with my family and my friends and all of the people that I love, like I'm doing you a disservice if you're thinking I'm this one person and I'm not that person. I don't like to do holidays like this, or I don't want to raise my kids like this, or I want to speak more openly with you all, but we just acting like we're distant cousins. Or I want to be more vulnerable with my friends, and I also want to have my alone time. It's like I had to come up on a time where if I don't change it now, I'm gonna have to rip the band-aid off eventually.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to. And I really wanted to know if people were going to truly appreciate me for being exactly who I am. Because I was notorious for being like the bubbly, the good child, no problems. And I'm not saying I want to wreak havoc, but I do have a voice. And so I'm going to speak on the things that I absolutely feel. And it felt so amazing when a lot of people were receptive of that. And they was like, okay, all right, like I do like you. So now I'm feeling like, okay, you actually like me for me. Even though we may not have the same ideals or values, and I've discovered some other things about myself and the way I want to live my life, you do absolutely appreciate that. And it's one of the best feelings ever. But I saw you smirking, Vaughn. So what are you smirking about? About Quisha? Or you just thinking about something?
No, I was smirking at your friend that just came in the door.
Oh, hey friend.
Hey, Carl.
You can come. I don't know if you. I don't know if you could squoze in. You might not be able to squoze in there.
He might be. We can push the camera back a little bit. He probably can squeeze in. Oh, he's saying that camera ready, girl.
Oh,
He's not,
You know, he gotta be camera.
you know, he got to be camera ready.
well, guys, we have a background audience member. We just want to let y'all know he'll be featured on the next podcast. But yeah, that's how I look at it. I'm like, take me as I am, because this whole facade, it was gonna crumble eventually. So
Right.
that's how I look at it, and I would hope people appreciate that more.
Yeah.
I would hope, because I wouldn't want anyone to be putting on a front around me and being Miss Button Up, being goody two shoes
Right.
and whatever, Mr. Rogers, whatever the persona is, if that's not really how you are.
Yeah. I think that I've gotten that from a couple of friends before,
Mhm.
like, telling me that I don't really
Speaking.
not express myself, but like I don't show emotion a lot. Like I'm not really an emotional being or voice like what I'm going through because I just been a girl that just always handled it on my own. Girl, it come through eventually, child. Like I'll figure it out. So
Yeah.
I think that at some point I'll have to get it together so that I can voice my opinion or be vulnerable around my friends. Like
Okay.
and when they said it, I was like, dang, I really probably never cried in front of you. Like, because even though I'm very emotional, I've never, like, cried around, people, unless I'm watching a movie, girl. If I'm watching a movie, child, I can't, it just can't, girl, let me tell you. The way these emotions.
Hold on. So the back cast member said he was not camera ready, but he has now changed the full on outfit, hat, on the vest and the shirt. So he said he's not ready, but he came up. He just changed, quick change.
He is getting ready, and I'm excited for it. We got plenty of time. We have plenty of time. Just know that we have plenty of time. So this is what I'm going to do so that the back cast member can get into this. We're going to continue this conversation, but the next part of the self-discovery is going to be self-discovery in relationships. And we're going to have him join us and join in the conversation. And it's going to be like relationships, like romantic, friends, family, all of that.
Yeah.
But what I want to talk about now is, have you guys ever felt like, okay, so I don't know if this is a fact, so I don't want to say it's a fact, but I honestly feel like I change. Like I change maybe every 3 years. I think I do. And I know people say that it's growing pains or you're gonna grow, but I don't know if mine is drastic or it's just me. Maybe I just need this self-discovery thing in doses. And maybe that's just what it is. Like I may not be able to tackle everything about my eating habits for just an example. I may not be able to do that and also tackle like my self-love in all one year. It just may be too much for me.
Mhm.
So I feel like I take it in doses, and I go to the limit, and I do as much as I can. And then once I accomplish that, I'm like, oh, now career has fallen off. So
Right.
now what am I going to do about that? So
Mhm.
then maybe the next 6 months, I really work hard on that. And before you know it, it's been 2 years that's passed, and I'm a completely different person. Like, I've gone from a level 6 now to a level 8, just being
Mhm.
better, and I think I like that about myself. It's a challenge, but I feel like I need to do that, and I feel like I'm just gonna be doing that forever. Do y'all feel like, if do you look back and say, "Okay, the Quisha that was years ago is
Definitely.
no more," or
Right.
the Vaughn that was if that was 2 years ago, I would be completely different?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think most times, I'm not even gonna front y'all. I don't think I changed a lot. Like,
Really?
I really don't. But
Okay.
I really like I do like start to take some things more seriously. Like, like when it comes to me wanting to be an entrepreneur soon, you know what I'm saying? Like I start to like really like try to jot those things down and try to like really get my mindset into that space, because like if
Mhm.
I'm not, my mindset isn't there, baby, I'm never gonna get there. Like I don't matter how
Right.
many times I write it down, no matter how many times I talk about it, if I'm
Mhm.
not preparing myself mentally to get there, it'll never happen. So things like that, I probably try to feel like I get more like I try to take more seriously, but
Mhm.
I really don't feel like I've been changing that much. And I think that's why I said like I really need to do some soul searching. Like you say, you be doing soul searching and you be, really trying to get in tune with yourself, like your
Mhm.
emotions and stuff. Like I don't think I do that yet, and I need to start. Because 30 is coming soon. So
Yeah.
as I get older, I really need to start thinking about those things and like really having a check in with myself. Like I watched this boy on YouTube and he like always talk about how he talks to his inner child. Like, is
Yeah,
this
me
okay?
too.
Like a lot of times, like when he's like having anxiety or something about something, he likes to like, okay, to little
Mhm.
Tariq, calm down. Like
Yeah.
get yourself
Mhm.
together. It is okay. Like things like just getting in tune with yourself. Like so,
Mhm.
I think I'm not there yet, but I do change in some aspects, but not like internally. Because I feel like I'm not a
Mhm.
bad person, so
Right.
I
Right.
don't feel like I have to do stuff on that. But like just things coming into with myself, those things like you said,
Mhm.
soul searching. I really need to start doing so that I can be a better me to me, not just to other people, like but for myself. So
Mhm.
um, yeah.
And for me, I feel like my biggest change was just emotional maturity. Like
That's
I
good. Yeah.
was handled differently when I was 18, just
Mhm.
flying off the handle, or not thinking about things, or just saying whatever without thinking. Don't care if I hurt your feelings, just gonna say it.
Mhm.
I feel like in that aspect, yes, I changed as far as being
Yeah.
able to sit down with myself and say, okay, why are you mad? Why are you angry? Why are you sad? And having to think about those things without just flying off the handle and saying whatever at that time, because my emotions, I couldn't control my emotions at that time. So I think that's the biggest change for me, like just emotional maturity.
Yeah. I agree with that, and it's a huge undertaking when you start to realize that you need to kind of have these conversations with yourself and realize like I could have handled things a lot better, or in order to get my point across, I need people to be able to hear me. And if I'm saying it in a certain way, they're
Mhm.
just not going to receive it. As soon as they hear that tone, or as soon as I am looking at them and being accusatory, people just they check out.
They check all the way
Mhm.
out. They are
They check
starting
out.
defensive,
Hmm.
and it's like it's not going to be a good conversation from
Right.
there.
Yeah.
It's like shut down. Like I don't even want to hear what you're saying at this point. I'm listening to rebuttal. That's it.
Right.
We're not gonna get nowhere. So I agree.
Yeah. And as far as the inner child, I do that all like I let my inner child play now because I don't know why I was so serious as a child. I have no idea. I have no idea why I was so serious as a child, but I felt like I did have fun as a child, don't get me wrong, but I also felt like I didn't I'm very silly. I'm very silly, like I'm giddy, I'm goofy. I'm just that quirky type of person, but I never expressed that as a child as much as I wanted to. I
Mhm.
did in some spaces, but in a lot of spaces I didn't. And so when I'm not feeling safe or when I'm not feeling like I can be myself, that's exactly what I do. I talk to my inner child, and I've done an exercise where I have meditated and I've gone back, visualize myself going back to the house that I remember growing up. We had a big pink house, and remembering a situation where I felt alone and where I felt not heard and where I felt I couldn't speak up. And I apologized to myself in that moment. And I cried and cried and cried. And I was here in my house now at the age I am now, but I needed to do that to apologize to the young me because I didn't know any better then.
Yeah.
And I wanted to protect her and I wanted to be her. And she could not express herself the way she wanted to for whatever reason. I felt like I couldn't do that. But it was such a good exercise for me to like just talk to the young Shayna and just apologize to her and say, you know what? I should have treated you better. I should have allowed you to be more of yourself, but we're going to take it from here and we're going to do much better. And now I'm going to express you whenever I feel like it. So if it's Christmas Day and I feel like having a twerk off, that's what I'm going to do.
Correct.
I'm going to do it.
As you should.
And most little kids don't do that. But if I feel like I want to have a race outside with my nieces and my nephew, that's what I'm going to do. No one is going to tell me that I'm too old to start doing those things because a child is innocent, and that's where you get like your most joy from. So like y'all are hitting the nail on the head. I feel you, and I think it's never done. Like our work is never done, and so I've just said, let me just go ahead and jump in the pool because I'm gonna be doing this for a long time because I'm gonna be changing. I'm gonna be changing, so I always need to figure out how to say things better, like you said, Quisha, and figure out like my emotional, like mature emotionally, and I always need to go back and talk to my younger self. That's just what I'm gonna have to do. I think y'all frozen. Are y'all back? No, y'all still frozen. Did we lose you? Or am I frozen? Okay, they back now. Yeah. Okay.
That was us.
I don't know. I don't know who it was, but y'all was frozen. But this is just the first part of self-discovery. We have another guest. I'm so excited. So we have somebody else that's gonna come on. So we're gonna go ahead and parking lot this. We're gonna go ahead and end it, and then we're gonna come back with a part 2. But as y'all already know, the vibes are absolutely top tier. And we're gonna catch y'all the next time. All right, smile so the thumbnail don't look crazy. Peace.